Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Behind the Dashboard, where we look under the hood of a specific feature, talking to members of the Catchpoint pit crew who do everything from crank out the code to place the finish line. In each episode, we're going to take an express lane past the technical congestion caused by focusing on speeds and feeds and dive into the conversation to the destination IT practitioners want, discussing what the technology is and what problem it solves. And joining me today on this episode are Senior Value Engineer Sheikh Mursaleen, or Mursi, as he's known to his friends. Welcome back.
Hi, Leon. It's always a pleasure again.
Always. And also new to Behind the Dashboard is Loy Colaco, one of our product managers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Hello, Leon. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you. All right. Before we dive into the topic of the day, I like to make room for people to be their whole selves, their authentic selves. So what's going on in your lives that either has nothing to do with Catchpoint and might be technology related, but isn't like work? Like what do you have going on that's exciting?
Well, if you ask me, I'll go first eventually. Last time I said Premier League is starting, so this time again, I don't support dedicatedly any team, but I just tease Loy whenever his team, most of the time loses.
All right, Loy, who's your team?
So I support Manchester United. They're not in a good state, but
I didn't want to say it because it's just so what do you do? Support Manchester United? I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go to the cliche, but you just did it. So, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Mursi, who are you supporting? Just whoever's playing against Manchester?
Yeah, exactly. I have just all the memes ready, and there are many folks I send them to, not many to Loy, but yeah.
Got it. All right. All right. So for you, it's all about footy. Fabulous. Okay. So Loy, anything going on in your life that's, not technology relation or technology related or technology adjacent?
One thing is I'll be traveling to Bangalore. I think it's like 4 years I've been there. Hopefully Mursi will be there. And I think in the past we can book some time and then again play football. So that is something excited or something that I'm looking up to November. So yeah.
Very nice. Okay, cool. Let's see. In my world, my son, who is a university junior mechanical engineer, is building a shade for our back. We have a pergola, which is a Latin word that means useless. But we have a pergola and it needs shade sometimes because it gets sunny occasionally here in Cleveland. And he wanted to build one that was, automatic and would roll and only required 2 pounds of force and whatever. So we have $1,000 of aluminum and sprockets and ball bearings and all sorts of stuff. I will post pictures on social when it's done, but this is an amazing thing. So that is going on right outside my window here, that I'm watching happen. So we got going. Okay.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's really fun. You know what? It's fun to watch when somebody is building a skill and then gets a chance to use that skill in real life. And I know that sounds like a segue. It kind of is, but also it's real, right? And I think as IT folks, we understand that too. I just learned how to do regular expressions, or, I just learned how to code in Python, or, whatever it is, right? It's fun to be able to take hard-won, hard-learned skills and put them to use. So today we are here to talk about, believe it or not, ping. Now I'm going to ask the folks watching this episode to please withhold or suspend your Olympic level eye rolling for just a moment, because I think there's more there than you think there is. Everyone thinks they know everything there is to know about ping, and the truth is that they don't. So the first thing I'm going to ask for you both is to jump in and give us a rundown of, all the things my parents never taught me about ping, the things that I should have known but didn't. What is there that people don't know about?
To start with the basics about the ping, just idea. Originally it was just designed to check the reachability, just to get round trip time between two devices on the network. So think of it like you are at a canyon and then you're shouting out words, right? You're waiting for an echo to come back. So similarly, you take a device, you set like a request, which they call like a echo request. Then you generate targeted to something like a server, and then if the server is up and then is reachable, you'll get like a response back. Um, and that's how it works, right? So that's like the basic idea, and then with that you get like this all the other amazing metrics we'll talk later.
Okay. Um, what else? Mercy, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, majorly when we talk about this particular part of technology, right? It's something that everybody learns from the get-go. When I got my first computer, it's something that everybody is teaching you to do. So normally, when you go into a Windows device, you do a refresh, or you open a CMD, you do a ping. So these kind of things you do from the get-go itself. But when we talk about it in the world of monitoring, right? It's a very important tool when we talk about the pillar of availability. It also helps you keep track of all the devices that are within your infrastructure or even outside. You can keep a track of everything from this particular piece of technology, which sounds a very small part of the puzzle, but brings in a lot of insights.
Yeah, a friend of mine mentioned not that long ago, like a few weeks ago, we were talking about it, and he said that ping was actually the first synthetic transaction. Like if you think about it, it is the first example of what a synthetic transaction is. But on top of it, I think people don't realize the sheer number of variations that are possible with that one little technique or technology. For example, you can change the payload size. So you're not only checking is something reachable, but is there a problem if I try to get there with a payload that is too large or too small? My small files are making it, but my really big files aren't. I wonder why that is. Or you don't have to ping the port called ICMP, which is what ping is. You can actually ping different ports. You can actually say, I want to get to HTTP port 80, for example. You can do that in some implementations of the tool. So there's a lot of variations around it that I think people don't recognize. And Mercy, to your point, it's fundamental to the idea of monitoring observability, certainly availability, to have that fluency with the technique to be able to know those things. Otherwise, it's just a brute force. Are you there? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So okay. So I don't want to belabor it, but there's more there than meets the eye. So then my next question is, we all have ping on our devices. Whether the implementation can do all the things that we were just talking about or not, there is something called ping that you can get to. My phone will let me, ping if I put the right utility on it. I can do that. So why do people need another tool? Why, whether it's Catchpoint or something else, what is it that isn't there that you would need to have someone else's implementation do something for you?
So another thing is like generally we think about ping is like we think of our device and then we think about a server we want to reach, right? So it's just one to one, but if you want to do it with different locations, you have to go or use different devices, which can be challenging. You have to write your own tools if you want to do it like continuously. There could be scenarios, even if it is you don't want to be alerted when there is like latency, you might want to see like trend because different regions can have different impact. You want to see how your latency is if there is packet loss, if there is like ISP issues. Uh, so this can be blind spots, which generally when you think about like a single ping from your device hides.
Right. There is that. I think that you've hit the thing that people overlook about ping. Whenever I'm anywhere. And people say, oh, I just run ping from my laptop. I don't need anything more than that. My first answer is really, and you have a database that's capturing all that information so you can trend it or whatever. And you see the light bulb go off immediately. It's a really useful utility, but you have no tracking. You have no data storage. There's no way to know what ping was doing yesterday or the same time a month ago or whatever it is. That's the one major immediate thing that you recognize, is that you don't have any way of knowing what was happening in the past. You only know what's happening now. Mursi, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah,
Like, why do we need something?
exactly. We definitely need, because in terms of monitoring industry, right? You always want to be more proactive. You don't want to sit and look at your dashboards. And the proactiveness comes when you receive an alert, right? And when you have data correlation with ping and a lot of other data or the metrics that you capture from the monitoring tools. You have APM, you have NPM, you have IPM. They all kind of meet at some point where you need that correlation to see the trend of one metric impacting another metric, or the backend getting impacting because there is a third party that's not working fine, or the front end that is something that you need to keep a track of with the backend. But when you come few layers to the downstream, then you have the ping. How's the latency? How's the trend? And all that good stuff. So it is, I would say, necessary when we talk about availability to have ping data in your pocket.
Got it. Okay, so that starts to hint at things. And then the obvious question, because this is catch points behind the dashboard, is what is it that we bring to the table? What is it that when we envisioned doing something for ping, what was it that we want, what that we do? How do we make life better for people? Lloyd, go ahead and start off.
Yeah, I mean, when we were designing the ping, right? So we wanted to get the metric as correct as possible. So, for example, like we want to make sure we get like the reachability metric correct. So whenever a particular network engineer wants to know, even their application might be up, our customer is able to reach to them, right? So you send and ping, you get a response back. If it's a yes or no, we say it's reachable. Then how much then did it take to get the response back, right? That's how we get the latency. Um, all the packets you send back, did they receive back to you? You have the packet loss. And then if they come in the right order, right? Or if there is like too much of delay, you have the jitter. So all of these metrics combined together gives you like a pretty good understanding, and then makes it really powerful to use when you're troubleshooting a network issue.
Okay, so Mercy, I'm not going to ask you for anything to add because I need to see this demo, and I know that you actually have it running. So let me see it. Let me see it now.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about the data that we capture when it comes to, let's say, ping at this point, what Loy mentioned is exactly uh, the set of metrics that are relevant to the network SRE team and so on and so forth, right? Now, the data consumption goes from one view to another one. It's just like a flavor of a view that our customers are comfortable with. In this view, you can see the network traffic, which is getting generated by all the nodes that Catchpoint has across the globe connected to the backbone and last mile networks. This latency that gets tracked and the packet loss helps customers identify which regions they have to push their focus on, and then use this data over a period of time to take the decision of what needs to change in a specific area or a region, or with respect to any ISP that customers traffic is not behaving well with, they have to keep a track of. So this is one view which our customers really like, to get into the weeds of what exactly is happening in just one view from all the cities in terms of performance from different countries. Now, again, when we talk about ping, we talk about, I would say, availability, we talk about response, and from a lot of our customers' perspective, when they track this data set, they want it to be as easy to digest, because again, there are some views which are relevant to L1, L2 teams. There are some views that their leadership would require, and they don't need to get into the granularities, but just like top level numbers, whether the tile is green or if it's orange, if it's yellow, and stuff like that. And response in the same way is tracked with that particular view. Now, if we take it one step ahead, right? We talk about all the data centers that our customers have. These data centers are spread across, right? If it's a global customer, they have multiple data centers in, whether it's on-prem or whether it's on cloud and so on and so forth. They want to keep a track of availability and latency, not only from the perspective of end users, but also how their infrastructure is performing. And when we talk about the data centers and all the locations where our customers are serving their users from, this particular hybrid nature of how they store data and serve their customers is sometimes a blind spot when it comes to tracking this hub or mesh of data all together in one view, right? They may have a lot of dashboards, they may have a lot of teams, different teams in different regions, different time zones, where, let's say, I need to check something in Australia right now. They probably might be sleeping at this point. But when you have to generate a view, this has something this which has clicked with a lot of our customers, and they have shared a lot of positive feedback. And this is a mini version of what I'm showing you. This goes or expands more than 100 by 100 mesh, which helps our customers keep a track of their liveliness of data centers, the communication, and the latency of different sorts. Loy, you have anything to add to that?
I mean, this is really powerful for us with Catchpoint. Not just you can monitor within your network, right? You can use the different vantage points we have across globe set up being test. So you get um, alerts for your network infrastructure that you are interested in. Um, and then based on those alerts, your team can resolve any issues when they are, or even if you're not, even if there aren't any alerts, you could set up tests which are continuous. You could range them from like 200 milliseconds up to like 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever your use case requires. You could set those tests up and then monitor them continuously, right? And then look at the trends, how they are, how the network usage is across different geolocations, what the latency is, if there is any intermittent packet loss that you have to look at. And then another powerful thing that we can do is like combine ping with the synthetic test, right? Where generally the SREs teams, they monitor at the application level, and then ping works at the level 3 of the OSI model. So along with whether your application is up, you are also checking, okay, are customer able to reach with good, with less latency and no packet loss, right? So that your application user experience is pretty smooth.
Absolutely. And what Loy was mentioning is exactly portrayed in this picture, where you can see it's a 200 millisecond base continuous ping. It was requested by customers, where they have teams who are latency sensitive. They track every millisecond, and they even requested for less than 200 milliseconds, which um, they want to gauge into to understand if there is a smallest bit of fluctuation or there's a spike, how they can track it easily. So yeah, there is a lot that goes beyond that, but I think these few views are a powerful depiction of how teams consume data.
Right. And that's just to wrap it up. I think that again, we all know about ping. If you've been working in IT for more than 15 minutes, you've seen it, you've used it. But I think that we tend to overlook it because it is so simple, and yet it's a really rich source of information on its own, and also as a way of enhancing existing information. You might have something much more complex, API calls or whatever, and you're doing that, but having ping information along with the other information allows you to enrich that view in ways that are both unexpected and also delightful. This is the last part. I mean, we're not going to spend 3 hours talking about ping. I'm sure some people can. I don't particularly want to. I guess my question is, as the last part of behind the dashboard, what I call the lightning round, what if people walked away only remembering one thing from what we talked about, what is the thing that you would want them to remember? And I'll start off by saying, I'm just going to repeat what I just said, which is, don't discount ping just because it was simple and maybe the first thing that you learned. It really has unexpected flexibility and power within your observability tool set. So take a look at it. Lloyd, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, even though the ping might look simple, I would say combine it with the synthetic other tests that we have. It can make it really, really powerful. And when there are issues, you're not just looking at the application level, but also like the network level. You have all the details that you need to troubleshoot.
Nice. All right, Mursi, bring it home.
Absolutely. So when we talk about ping, right, even though it's a mini version of a lot of other big features that we offer, what matters is how our customers want to see from a different ISP flavors, different ASNs, how the traffic is traveling back to the resources they are trying to access, which is the most important part. I mean, anyone can run a ping, right? But running it continuously from those global vantage points is something that we deliver and what our customers are really looking into. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very nice. All right, gentlemen, I know that it is a variety of different times of day for you, and I appreciate you carving out a few minutes to talk to me and also to talk to the Behind the Dashboard audience. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I also want to take a moment to thank all of you for watching this episode. It's no exaggeration to say that there is an overwhelming amount of technical content for you to choose from, and here at Catchpoint, we appreciate the time you've carved out for us. If you'd like to get notified when new episodes drop, remember to use the subscribe button below. For Behind the Dashboard and everyone at Catchpoint, I'm Leon Adato.